Hello and welcome back to another classic WoW video. So today I will give you my answer to the question, is it too late to start playing classic WoW? And give you my reasons behind my answer. So, is it too late? Absolutely not. For gold making you can earn 50 gold plus per hour purely by fishing, which you can do at level 20 plus. To further prove this, I have hour-long videos on my second channel, showing myself on a level 20 warlock, with 225 fishing, making anywhere between 40 gold and 60 gold per hour, fishing for raw nightfin snappers in Moonglade. You can also make a lot of gold by farming light feathers, if those sell well on your server. Back to the fishing, if you can fish for 2 hours per day, that means you'll have enough gold to buy your epic mount in 10 days. If you do it for 1 hour per day, it will take you 20 days. If you do it for 30 minutes, it will take you 40 days. So no matter how hardcore or casual you want to be, gold will not be an issue. An added benefit of starting late is that more methods of gold making and gold farming have been tested, and metas have been established. So you know what to do if you're looking for the big boy gold per hour, you know what to expect if you choose to main a warrior, you know what to expect if you choose to play a healer, and you know what you can do if you're a mage. Also, there are guides up on YouTube on how to make gold as any class, so you'll be fine either way. And there are several in-depth guides on how to maximize gold per hour as well, through the mage boosting meta. Like mages can earn upwards of 400 gold per hour through boosting Solgurub, and there is a possibility of a similar farm becoming available either in phase 5 or phase 6, which could be even better in terms of gold per hour, because there will be more gold in the economy and better drops as well. Basically, it's never too late to start if gold is the main issue, and I would argue that the later you start, the better off you are gold making wise. For gearing, phase 5 brings with it a lot of catch-up gear through the material turn-ins, and a sort of catch-up tier set as well through the raid itself. You also have Solgurub from phase 4, which is still somewhat fresh content, and makes it very easy to gear up super fast, since that is also a catch-up raid. Alternatively, you can farm gold through the methods discussed earlier, or by watching some of my gold farming videos, and then partake in gold bid raids, where you can literally purchase raid loot, so gearing is also not a problem. For content, a lot of the quotation mark real content in Classic is phase 5 and phase 6, as you have loot revamps, more difficult raids, world events through the opening of Ankiraj, and just in general Classic becomes more appealing and more content unlocks the later we get into the phasing system. So starting now will give you enough time to catch up to others and be prepared for the real challenge, which is Noxramas if you're into raiding. An added benefit of starting late when it comes to raiding is that more people will already have acquired a lot of gear pieces, but because the amount of loot per boss is so low in Classic, a lot of players still need that last finishing touch as well. For example, they still need to clear the entire Blackwing lair to get some drops from Nefarian. Like I would imagine, quite a few casters still need their Staff of Shadowflame, Neltharian's Tear, and so on. This is where being a somewhat new player comes in handy, because as long as you can acquire either pre-bith through grinding dungeons, or just acquire some gear through the methods we discussed like the Ankiraj material turn-ins or through gold bid raids, you can start getting into pugs for other raids, and because more people will have gear, it will be very easy for you to acquire gear as well, compared to if the raid was completely new and everyone still needed everything. If you're into PvP, ranking becomes more easy because less hardcore PvPers will be ranking, because they will have achieved their goal. Actually, let me rephrase that. It does in theory become easier because of the reason I just explained, but to talk about PvP we need to dive deeper. In Classic WoW there is something called rank boosting or bracket boosting or pool boosting, whatever, which is where hardcore PvPers make several ults at level 1 and kill some horde character for honorable kills to push more characters into the PvP bracket. For example, if you're playing Alliance, a horde character will come to Dunmorrow Graveyard, strip naked, and you kill them over and over again to get honorable kills through a raid party. This pushes several more people into the PvP bracket, allowing easier ranks. Real PvPers usually boost at least 5, probably closer to 9 characters, and I've heard of some people having several alternative accounts just for boosting. Like I know someone who had 10 accounts full of level 1 characters to boost 100 characters into the PvP bracket. With less hardcore people doing PvP, there will be less boosting going on, and therefore it might be actually more difficult to PvP and to rank up. But since I'm not actually a PvPer, I don't know if it will become more easier or more difficult, but I thought I would mention it anyway so you can make up your own mind and test it out for yourself if PvP is something you're interested in. When it comes to the leveling itself, this will depend on what server you play on. If you play on a huge PvP server, you should always expect some world PvP, and with the amount of geared level 60s out there, you might die a few times. However, if you play on a PvE server, you'll be fine. For the purpose of this video, let's just talk about the leveling as if you're on a PvE server, because world PvP is kinda random. Leveling will technically be faster for a couple of reasons. There are more guides out there, several videos on shortcuts, quests that you can do for fast XP in certain level ranges. The leveling guides we had at launch have been updated to min-max even more, and we have the whole boosting meta where some people will boost for free, or you can use the fishing in Moonglade to make 50 gold per hour, then buy dungeon boosts, which is very good experience per hour. It will also be easier to find groups for pretty much everything and anything, whether this is leveling or farming pre-abyss. Well, actually, maybe not farming pre-abyss, because everyone did that at launch when they hit 60, but still, lots of mages are running dungeons for boosting or farming purposes, and it's easy to get an invite. There are also lots of people still questing and doing dungeons as well as the fact that you can buy one Stockade's boost and get all of the quests done. Once you get to level 60, a lot of people are still farming pre-abyss either for their main or for an alt, and a lot of people are still running dungeons like Skolomans for PvP gear sets, reputation and gold. Stratholm is also very lucrative for gold, and you'll find tanks and healers selling their services in return for certain items inside the dungeon. The community, at least on most servers, is still as fantastic as ever and as helpful as ever. You can find mages for cheap portals, food and water, and if you're a new player you'll usually get a portal for free as well, if you ask the right person and ask nicely, speaking from experience. You will also find someone to help you with elite quests, once again, assuming you ask the right people and ask them nicely. If you find yourself a nice guild, you can also get some free banks, but this will always depend on the community of the guild you're in. In the guild I was in while leveling my warlock, people supplied me with banks and I supplied them with green items I found inside dungeons so they could disenchant, as well as I gave them some cloth and leather every now and then. Basically, be nice to others and they will be nice to you as well. Finding a guild is very smart and it will in most cases enhance your gameplay in multiple ways. Finding groups for dungeons will be easier inside a guild, getting accepted into raids will be easier in a guild, getting help will be easier when you ask someone in your guild, and so on. So, is it too late to start playing Classic WoW? Definitely not. Most of the challenging content is yet to come, and if anything, you've just skipped out on the rough patch and the testing ground and you saved yourself the frustration of Phase 2 and getting ganked at the Flight Masters 24/7. But then again, whether or not it is too late to start playing Classic WoW is completely dependent on what your goals were in Classic to begin with. If you wanted to be the first level 60, it's way too late for that. And if you wanted to be the first rank 14, it's too late for that as well. Basically, if you're a competitive person, anything that's been done already, it's too late to be competitive in, except for speedruns. That being said, World First AQ and Naxxramas is still up for grabs, and many other fun aspects of the game as well. I'm still waiting for someone to solo a raid boss like people are doing in retail. Other things that you have missed out on that are either negative or positive, it all depends on how you look at it and you have to decide for yourself, is the leveling race and the initial hype for Classic WoW. You're not gonna have the 1000 versus 1000 Alliance versus Horde matches around Molten Core's entrance, or in Lakeshire like you did back at launch, and you're not gonna have the race to level 60 happening again before either a new server comes around or TBC comes out and the race to level 70 begins. Basically, you missed the launch experience, but it's still not too late to start playing Classic WoW, as the servers are still very much alive, queues are still happening, layers are back, raids are happening, you can find dungeon groups, people are leveling alts, it's easier to make gold, you can still do PvP, you name it. There are so many options in Classic that this is a question you need to find the answer for yourself, as it's a very personal question in my opinion. Nevertheless, I wanted to shine some light on it and talk about it from my point of view. That being said, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons. Your support really means a lot to me and has helped me a lot, especially in these days when our workplace has kind of taken a hit due to recent events, so the financial support over there means a lot. VIP level patrons can see their names on the screen as well as a tribute to their amazing support. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching it. Leave a like, leave a sub, and I'll see you next time.